record button. There we go. Let's get this sucker going, yo. Oh, gotta have the headphones. Gotta have them headphones. Don't want it this loud, though. There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Eric the Epic here. Tried to play some more Yearwalk. This is creepy slash horror Swedish game, or a game on Swedish folklore. I forgot what I was doing So there was some stuff going on here. We had to do with the Mylings last night. Yearwalk. Yearwalking was at its core a vision quest with the purpose being to foresee the future. There were very rigid rules concerning the Yearwalk, and not adhering to them could prove very dangerous, even fatal. How the practice of Yearwalking came to be is shrouded in mystery, but it seems to have been a widespread practice in Sweden until the beginning of the 19th century, and in some rural areas as late as the beginning of the 20th century. The practice was likely over 1,000 years old, and most certainly pagan. Yearwalking varied greatly regionally and even locally. There might have been differences between one village and the next. All the variations had a couple of elements in common, though. A yearwalk could not be done on any given day. There were certain days a year when the gate was opened, generally in liaison with important festival days such as May Day, Midsummer's Eve, or Christmas Eve, and most commonly New Year's Eve. A yearwalker could not partake of any of the food or drinks that were served on those days. A sacrifice of no little significance, such these feasts were some of the rare occasions when food would be plentiful and varied. A yearwalker had to avoid other people, so they commonly locked themselves in dark rooms and were not allowed to see a fire for the entire day. Perhaps not a vast sacrifice on Midsummer's Eve, but on cold winter days it would be uncomfortable at least, if not hazardous. If the yearwalker followed these steps, he would leave his dark room at the stroke of midnight. This would be his last chance to cancel the yearwalk. Once he ventured out, there was no turning back. The church was the final destination for a yearwalker. On his way, he would typically encounter a number of supernatural creatures, which would pose a threat physically, mentally, and spiritually. If a yearwalker made it to the cemetery, he would walk around the church in an intricate pattern. This would open the yearwalker's eyes to the future, but it would also lure out the church grim. After completing the yearwalk, the walker would see visions that could manifest themselves in different manners. When the yearwalker left the cemetery, he might, for instance, see a somber procession of dancers dressed in their finest church clothes. These would be the people that would die the following year. A recurring theme is, of course, the yearwalker who meets his own ghost on the road. Another story tells of how the walker would see newly dug graves. Love played a great part too. So Walker would typically meet wedding processions or even attend weddings yet to come. One testimony from the late 19th century tells of a mental patient named Martin Nilsson, who describes his visions as otherworldly experiences. Before I saw what happened next year, I lived among the stars. I lived there for many lifetimes, it seemed. What do I care for next year? Time has already ended. Today the practice seems to be almost entirely forgotten. That's interesting. Okay, go back. The Church Grim, the Night Raven, the Myling, the Huldra. We met her earlier. The Huldra is known to have played a part in Norse mythology, but she is likely of an even older origin from when man lived off the forest rather than the fields. The Huldra was the guardian of the forest. She tended to the trees, plants, and animals. A single large tree in a grove surrounded by smaller trees was often considered to be the Huldra's home, or even the Huldra herself. In most stories, she presented herself as a beautiful young woman. This was, however, not her real appearance. Very few saw the Huldra's true face, and even fewer lived to speak of it. She was often described as a lonely and woe-filled creature. Her relationship with humans was very complex. She could enthrall a man with her beautiful song and lure him deeper and deeper into the forest, where she either wedded or killed him. The men kissed by the Huldra became apathetic and slow. According to some accounts, the Huldra was a positive force. If a hunter was kind to the Huldra, she might blow her breath down the barrel of his rifle, which would bless his hunt. Colliers considered her their friend, as she kept fire from spreading from their charcoal kin. She also helped those who willingly offered their blood to her, but this was dangerous as the Huldra might drink the giver dry. The Huldra was thus capable of doing both good and bad deeds. It was very hard to predict whether she would help or harm, since she played by rules only known to her. Huh. No. Encyclopedia. So we learned about the Myling last night, which is children who are killed. They seem to be adopted by the brook horse from time to time. Sweden is a country that has a lot of lakes, rivers, streams, and brooks, and Swedish folklore is filled with strange creatures residing in the dark waters. The brook horse was a pale horse who lived in creeks or lakes, luring children to ride on its back. The brook horse's spine grew for every rider that lured it on its back. When the brook horse was satisfied, it leaped into the water, whereupon the children drowned. The brook horse had a lot in common with the Nix, a handsome young fiddler who lured young girls down into the water, and according to some, they were one and the same. It's likely that the brook horse was made up to keep children from playing too close to the water. One of the more unusual descriptions comes from a story told in the north of Dalarna. A young man is on his way home from his work at a charcoal kiln. He decides to wash up in a nearby creek. The man finds a strange stone, formed like a small child, in the water. He picks it up. The man notices that he is not alone. He is being watched by a horse walking on 2 legs. The horse stretches out a human hand to the man, who gets frightened and runs home to a shack he shares with his fellow workers. He tells the tale to his comrades, who laugh at him and call him a drunken fool. He shows them the stone that now looks ordinary, quite ordinary. The man curses and go to bed. When the workers wake the following morning, they find the man dead in his bed, his lungs filled with water and the stone nowhere to be seen. The brook horse was almost always closely associated with death, not always in a negative way. For instance, in the sad folktale Lyle Nils, the brook horse is the one who finally leads Lil Nils' soul home, and thus ending his long series of misfortunes. We met the brook horse last night. The night raven. Carrion birds are deeply linked with misfortune and death in Scandinavian folklore. The night raven, or nattravanen, was certainly no exception. The night raven was described as a large bird with a sharp beak, sometimes with holes in its wings. Okay. If a person gazed through those holes, he would become ill. Other stories told of a giant skeleton bird that could never satisfy its hunger. Travelers foolish enough to be out at night risked being devoured by the terrible bird, especially at festival days such as Christmas or New Year's Eve. The night raven has also been described as an ordinary raven, but if it landed on a house, someone would die shortly with a terrible fever. Overall, the night raven was strongly associated with disease. When farmers sent their children out to collect wild birds' eggs, they had to be careful that they did not pick the eggs of the night raven. Excuse me. Those eggs were considered deadly, but if the child was unsure, he could knock on the egg 3 times and say, "Out with thee, evil spirit." If the egg belonged to the night raven, it would turn black. The night raven not only infested the eggs, it also possessed birds, preferably carrion birds. According to some sources, the night raven was the spirit of an evil, greedy man who had not been buried properly. The greed manifested itself in the night raven's fondness for shiny objects. Last thing to read is the Church Grim. Of all the creatures in Swedish folklore, the Church Grim was doubtlessly the most complex and certainly the most feared. Little is known of it, since it was considered bad luck to even speak about it. The Church Grim's appearance varied, which could possibly be attributed to the nature of the Church Grim's origin. When a church was built in medieval times, the animal was sometimes buried alive under the floors, most commonly goats, since these were comparatively cheap. There have also been stories of criminals being buried alive as punishment. In other versions, the criminal's heart was cut out and placed inside an animal carcass that was sacrificed. The heart was central in many of the myths surrounding the Grimm. Stories from the south of Sweden told that if you could touch the church heart's grim, you could stare into the eye of creation. The church grim guarded the church from against thieves and grave robbers, but because of it, even honest folks avoided the church at night. Some stories say that if you were unlucky enough to be the last one to die during the year, you would serve the church grim the following year. There are other stories that suggest that the church grim was not a guardian at all, but rather a sort of parasite that was drawn to the energy of the church. While there it fed on people's hopes, dreams, and fears. A recent and controversial theory suggests that the church grim was closely related to a nameless Bronze Age deity. Okay, so it's the last day of the year, most likely for us in this game. So we gotta make sure not to get caught by the church grim. Else, we'll be forced to serve it for, what did it say, eternity? Church. So that's what these... So these aren't cow symbols. They're symbols of the church grim. This is where I want to go. So up, right, down. This isn't quite it, though. Oh. Okay. Didn't see anything about this doll. Oh, it tells you about each of the... So that's what each of the symbols are, one of each of the... myths. Folklore. Okay. This bird has our key. Huh. Alright. So we gotta explore a little bit then. Okay, so it's time to explore some more then, I guess. See, that's the Night Raven one. And And that's the whole draw? I believe. So our goal is to get to the church, which is making sense why the church is the final area that I need to get to now. Maybe we should go visit the Brook Horse some more. Oh, right, the river is red with blood. That's where the Brook Horse was. Oh, right. Ah, I messed it up. One. Nope, that wasn't the other. Ah, jeez, I don't remember. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so this one, this one, this one. This one, this one, this one? Ah, I'm so close. I can't remember what it was. No. It was slash. And then this one was an X. Oh. I don't remember what the last one was, and we were just there with the bird. The possible night raven. Oh. Really? I was just there? Okay. Right. X and V. down, all the way up. No, don't. Just this way. That's where one of the Mylings was. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Okay. This is where the Huldra lives. / is. There's the puzzle box, it's down one. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right. I don't know what to do now. What's an underground storage? And then what was over there? Just a hill. drag? Nope. It's not like I have an inventory. The Night Raven. Out with the evil spirit. I'll type it. We'll see if it doesn't. Nope. Huh. Well, if we have one of the two keys that we need to get into the church's grounds, which is where our ultimate destination is, we can't be too far from beating the game. Which is kind of sad, because this has been really enjoyable so far. It just seems to be kind of short. This puzzle box, man. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Nope. I don't know what to make of that clue. Unless it's inverted. It depends on how you look at it. So, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Nope, nothing. Huh. Tell me about the crow some more. Raven. Shiny objects. So stole our key. Huh. Are we looking for eggs? Why is the river red with blood? We appeased the Myling's spirits. There's something going on with this area right here. Pretty soon I'm going to have to ask for a hint in the game because I don't know what to do right now. There was a Myling here, but we took care of it. Brought it to the Brook Horse. The doll, what you can see in this, the silhouette of, isn't there anymore when we actually head up to it. Which, in the earlier time we checked it out, was a doll that was hanging, and upon turning its head, its head ended up having blood on it. Eggs. Woods and box. Wait. Huh. I don't know. Touch the thievish bird. What? I did! Like 7 times, like 30 times. A lot more than 7. It was like 30. I touched it a whole bunch of times. I'm not going to pretend I know where the hell I am or where I'm going. Need to go up one. touch the thievish bird. I did. I did. That's the only hint I get, is touch the bird. Alright, well I touched it, now what? Oh. Oh. It's the Night Raven. Oh, wow. Okay. It's just letting me take the key. That doesn't sound good. Does this mean we're close to completing the Yearwalk? Okay, so we're at the cemetery. Left, right, right, left, right. No? Huh. So these are different symbols for each. Hers was the cent sign. Which I'm not really seeing anywhere in here. Looks like it might be that one. Excuse me. Not this one. Not this one. Well, maybe this one. Could have sworn it was more curved. More of an actual cent sign. And one of these was like a pitchfork looking dealie pointing down. Huh. Well, let's go take a look at one real quick. Close one is over here. Or not? Yeah, right over here. Yeah, it's legitimately a cent sign for the Holder. Holdra. Huh. But that's kind of repeated down here and here. So it doesn't really look legit. But there were these little... See, his was like a... looks like a sword pointing down. Or a trident. See, there's these little symbols all in here. Oh. Okay, so it's telling you what each thing means. So the trident pointing down is 2. Okay. Matching symbols to symbols. So the brook horse is... the brook horse is the trident pointing down, which is 2 dots. Okay, so it's stay. So the cent sign is the Holdra. Holdra? Holdra. Yes. Okay. So cent sign. The, we'll call that a bird's foot. Bird's foot is 3 dots. Four for the Holdra. Down. 4 for the Holdra. The crow's foot was what, 3? That's reverse. Than what we saw, right? I don't even know, man. My memory's awful. Let's go take care of the Holdra one, which is 3. Gotta go right to go left. Holdra, which is 3. I could probably just guess these last 2. All right. So we got to look at the myling, which is a inverse crow's foot. Inverse crow's foot, which is 2. Shit, am I getting things confused? Probably. Crow's foot. Actual crow's foot is 3. Myling is 2. It's extremely similar. So what's this one? The sword one. That looks like the myling. Could be that one too. Okay, well, let's assume that this one is for the brook horse. It very clearly shows it all as one piece, one unit. And there's no middle piece. Two. Huh. Well, let's find the other trees. Go down and all the way to the left. The crow's foot is actually the crow's foot, which we learned is 3. What's the difference between the myling and the... tree down here? Huldra is the scent sign, right? We easily found that out. That's the runestone. It's the crow. Raven. It appears to be the same as the brook horse. Which makes sense, actually, because the two are closely linked together in this game. Okay, then. We're nearing the end. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right. Church Grim. Okay, so left, right, left, right, right, left, right. And that should do it, I think. He didn't say anything about going inside for the Yearwalk. Church is the final destination. On his way would typically encounter numerous such. If Yearwalker made it to the cemetery, he'd walk around the church in an intricate pattern, open the Yearwalker's eyes to the future, but it would also lure out the church grim. After having completed the Yearwalk, he would see visions that would manifest themselves in different manners. When the Yearwalker left the cemetery, he might, for instance... Okay. Here we go, I guess. Sup? Gotta see your heart. Okay. Heart of Creation. Holdra. It's too late now. Too late for what? This is trippy. The Brook Horse. It can't be changed. The future. Okay, that's our cottage. Three, 4, 5, 6. The Myling. The decision has already been made. She's not gonna stay with us then, huh? I never opened that one box. The Night Raven. You must stop coming here. That's what she said. I don't love you anymore. Well, didn't have to do the Yearwalk to figure that out, buddy. Hey. She died. She dies. That's not enough. What? That's not enough. We didn't even open the one box. Okay. That was really short. It had me jump a few times, and it was really stylistic, but I mean, I guess it was enjoyable while I played it, but that doesn't feel like enough of a game. I give it a 7 out of 10. Way too short to get anything higher than that. What was good, what there was good, but written it all down. Okay. Everything that happened. It can be changed. Well, they said it can't be changed. Deliver the message. The journal. The secret is hidden. North of the mill. South of the brook. Remember. A secret. North of the mill, south of the brook. Okay. Walk again? Sure. We'll take a look north of the mill and south of the brook. Yep. In the old days, men tried to catch a glimpse of the future in the strangest of ways. They locked themselves in dark rooms, not partaking of food and drink. At the stroke of midnight, they ventured out into the night, through the dark woods, where strange creatures roamed. To see if they would be wealthy, to see if they would be happy, to see if they would live, to see if they would be loved. Okay? North of the mill, south of the brook. Okay, this part's scripted. Well, let's go north of the mill. Hi. Hello again. There you are. I've been waiting for you all day. You should not go outside without a hat on a cold day like this. You will freeze your ears off. And I am quite fond of the person those ears belong to. See, that's cute. Did anyone see you coming here? Now you're being silly. You know that I'm not ashamed of you. It's not that... I like you very much. But you and I come from different worlds. He is waiting for my answer. I said I'd give it to him next year. And this is the last day of this year. Now you're being unfair. This isn't any easier for me. I don't like it when you're like this. Calm down. Yearwalking. I hope you're joking. You do remember what happened to my cousin, don't you? Promise me you won't do anything foolish. We are not supposed to know what happens in the future. You should hurry home to your cottage and get some rest. You should probably go. North of the cottage. Or north of the mill. No? So it wants me to just strictly go back home, okay? Well, the secret has me intrigued. Time to starve myself while locking myself in a room in the dark for hours on end. North of the mill, south of the brook. We emerge at midnight in the dark. Just check out that mill. It won't let me go north. There is no north. South of the brook. Journal. North of the mill, south of the brook. North of the mill, south of the brook. North of the mill, south of the brook. Huh. the mill, south of the brook. Can I do spaces? North. Just try reversing it. South of the mill. South of the brook. North of the mill. I don't get it. A mysteriously modern rune. You earn 0 out of 10 achievements. What? Yearwalk on New Year's Eve. We earned. How did we not earn anything? Miling, Brook Horse. Nights were even Holdra. Clockwise minute box. A 3-letter word in the dark. Without it, it's silent. Yearwalk on New Year's Eve. How did I not get any achievements? Oh, I actually got to play it on New Year's Eve. Do a full walk without any hints. Do a full year walk without looking at the map. That's crazy. 20 minutes. That's doable. Do a full year without uncovering the secrets of the rune and the doll. The Grim will visit your dreams. The Howl will sing a song they learned in the lobby of a castle on a remote island. Watch your stone cryptogram. Clockwise minute box. Digital rune. Logo type. Who makes this game? Okay, 48, 30, 42, 30, 48. I guess you can't see, but I was looking at my Steam interface. At the achievements. Nope, it's this way, this way. This way till I find the wagon wheel, yeah. This way. Alright, let's do that again. $48, $30. $42, $30. $18. Clockwise minute box. 48, 30. Clockwise. Let me see. 30. $48. 30. No. 48. 30. $42, 30, 18. 42, 30, 18. 18. Okay, moves this way. $48. 30. 42. 30. 18. Clockwise minute box. I got it. I got the achievement. Doesn't really help. journal. North of the mill, south of the brook. Nothing. Nothing? North of the mill, south of the brook. What do you mean it doesn't work? That's not it. Maybe, SOTB? NOTM? I don't get it. Secret lies north of the mill, south of the brook. There's nothing south of the brook. A secret lies north of the mill, south of the brook. I don't know, man. I'm gonna Google it. North of the mill, south of the brook. Oh, okay. I got a pretty decent hint, actually. Maybe I need to read that hint a little bit better. Oh, okay. North of the coal, M68. The Thiol M68. Thiol M68. 1894. I forgot what the number was already. 84? 64? I don't remember. 1896. I don't remember what it was. 1894. Thiol M68. Six? I'm losing my mind here. Thiol M. 1894. Oh my god, give me the map. The Owal. M. The Ol M. Six, 8. Come on. Finally! Yearwalker Journal. So here's our story, I guess. Notes and photos. Hello, new system. Testing photo upload. It works. Should probably write here more often. Read about every book on Swedish folklore there is. Surprised how little has been written about yearwalking. Need more sources of information. Talk to ES. He suggested some field work. Might be good, but I feel that I might be 30 years too late. Been talking to elderly folks, eating cookies and drinking coffee. Their knowledge about yearwalking has been limited, to say the least. Barely any one of them know what it is. If they did, they had heard stories as children but forgotten the details. Thinking ES set me on a wild goose chase. Let's see. Interviews at the retirement home. May I never grow old. The last interview was intriguing if very brief. Talked to one Astrid Jansen. She was over 100 years old. Clear at times. Did not know a lot about folklore, but she did claim that her grandfather's brother had once yearwalked. Sadly, she did not know his name. He had died many years before she was born. Might have to look into it. Her maiden name was Venson, which leaves me with a lot of possibilities. She was born in Vedtorp, and I can only hope that her grandfather was as well. More interviews, nothing worth mentioning. Professor Asp called today. He hinted that the faculty wanted to take part in my research. Followed up my visit to the retirement home. In the early 20th century, there were 6 households in Vedtorp with the surname Svensson, according to the church book. Astrid was born in 1913. Her grandfather was named Carl Frederick. He had 2 brothers. One died in 1942. The other brother, Daniel Svensson, died in 1895. Since Astrid said that her great-uncle died before she was born, Daniel is the one that supposedly yearwalked. A miller apprentice. Going to the library to check out old newspapers tomorrow. I'm tired. Look for reference of Daniel Svensson in old newspapers. I'm grasping at straws. Another day at the library. Nothing of interest. Bored. I'm about to give up. Excited. The newspapers finally mentioned a Daniel Svensson. He was apparently arrested for the murder of a young woman in Vedtorp. Information is scarce. Her name was Stina Nilsson, and she was a miller's daughter. Her body was found on a field outside of the village. She had been stabbed multiple times. The library should be open longer. Hope I can find any reference to the supposed yearwalk. So... I'm tired. The miller's daughter is the girl in the story, and she died of stab wounds in the field later. The motive behind the murder seems to have been jealousy. Not many details. Apparently Stina was going to marry Lucas Tapper. She was on her way home from Lucas' parents when she was intercepted by Daniel. She was found the following morning, just 17 years old. I feel a tad guilty about my excitement yesterday. After all, there is a great tragedy behind all this. The press seemed to have lost interest in the case after a while. Found nothing today. Maybe ES can tell me something. Oh man, it's annoying. I need to stop yawning. He had a long talk on the phone with ES. The murder case was unknown to him. He had, however, spent a lot of time in Vedtorp during the 60s when he studied folklore in the area. There had been a rather peculiar runestone that seemed to predate the Viking Age. Yes claims that there was a definite connection between the symbols on the stone and yearwalking. He cannot tell how. Want to check it out. Went to the library again, in case I missed something about Daniel. Indeed I had. Another article. Feeling upset and a little sad. Borrowed the article just in case. Perhaps there is more to learn about Daniel. Booked a hotel room in Vedtorp. Arrived in Vedtorp. It's a small place. One street cuts through the village. It's a rather depressing place. To be fair, the weather would not do any place justice. Oh, okay. The hotel is empty besides me and a group of dog toy manufacturers who are a bit on the noisy side. Must ask Chef for the veal recipe. Got a map from the hotel owner. Excited about the archive. Have the feeling that I will find something major. Just got back from the archive. An interesting place. Sadly, it's only open 4 hours a day. It's understandable since I was the only visitor. Possibly found the files I need. Tomorrow, reading and lots of it. I knew it. The archive has exceeded my wildest dreams. On New Year's Eve, year 1893, Daniel Svensson did indeed Yearwalk. The court records refer to his Yearwalk at several occasions. I have just started to scratch the surface. There must be beliefs hidden amongst these papers that have been forgotten for ages. Amazing. This is by far the latest recorded Yearwalk. I hope I'm excused for borrowing the file from the archive. They gave me little choice since they are closed during the weekend. Could not sleep last night, too excited by the files. Much of the records are of a legal nature, but there are relevant passages. Daniel claimed he knew that he would murder Stina after seeing it in a vision on his Yearwalk. Sadly, the scribe has not bothered to take it all down and occasionally just refers to it as ramblings of a madman. Poor boy. There are certain elements that are new to me. Must write them down in detail later on. Need fresh air. Daniel's cabin, Soul Sorton, is briefly mentioned in the protocol. We'll ask around about it. Hope it still exists. So that's the cabin that we have. There's the puzzle box. Drove around for hours in the forest today. These are woods to get lost in. Asked for the directions from every local. Most people never heard of the cabin. Was about to give up when I met an old man. His aunt had lived there till the 60s. From then it had 3 different owners that used it as a summer home until the mid-80s. The last family that owned the cabin only stayed there one summer. Their 5-year-old son drowned in a brook nearby, and after that they never returned. Nobody has lived there since. The old man's nephew owned the land. I asked the old man if I could pay it a visit. He did not think there was anyone that would mind. This is some creepy, haunted-looking place. The cabin is situated deep into the forest. No sign, no road, just a narrow path. This was the place where he started his Yearwalk over 100 years ago. Felt overwhelmed by the thought, could not enter. It's a lonely place. The only other building I could find in the area was an underground storehouse. I guess it might have belonged to the cabin. It was too dark to see anything, but I can't imagine there would be anything of significance in there. On my way back to the car, I found this strange box. What an odd thing to leave in the middle of the forest. Seems to be in more or less mint condition. Could not resist taking it. He took the box. Tonight I need whiskey, and lots of it. He just stole it? Went to Vedtorp Church today. It's a small white stone church built in the 12th century. The place where the church stands has been used for worship even earlier than that. According to the priest I met, he showed me around the premises. Put a bouquet of flowers on Stina's grave. Seems appropriate. The most unlikely somber epitaph read. In memory of our loving daughter, Stina Nilsson. Her cries for mercy could not sway his hand. Depressing. Searched for Daniel's grave, but there was no stone, and according to the priest, there probably never was. The gravestones E.S. told me about are gone. The priest is not sure where they are or when they disappeared. Weather has been unreasonably bad. Spent the day at the country archive. Had trouble concentrating. Tried to locate a photograph of Daniel Svensson, but no luck. The clerk explained that there's a lot of stuff was lost when the files were moved in the regional archive back in 1976. Apparently there was another murder case in Vedtorp in the early 1890s. Elisa Rasmussen drowned 4 infants in a creek. She was an angel maker who received foster children from poor unmarried mothers. Lisa promised to find the babies good homes in exchange for a hefty sum of money. This was all a charade. As soon as the mothers had paid what little they owed, she drowned the children in a nearby creek. All files from that trial have been lost. Outrageous. I think I'm done with the archive. Been thinking a lot about that church. Strange day. The runestone ES talked about is not marked on any map. Talked to the man at the service station. He drew me a rather primitive map. Searched for the stone for a long time, almost gave up, found it at last. Felt compelled to touch it. Had the strangest sensation of looking beyond. Beyond what? The feeling lasted for quite some time. Heading home tomorrow. Wish I had more time. The stone is old. Might predate Christianity, but I fail to see how it is connected to yearwalking. Could not resist stopping by the church on my way home. Walked around it for a bit. It's a pretty church, not remarkable, but there is something about it. Feel that the church and the stone are connected somehow. They actually took the box. Found the box when I unpacked, had almost forgotten about it. It seems to have some lock-like construction, but I have yet to understand exactly what it is or how to open it. It reminds me of one of those puzzle boxes. The wheel with the symbols suggests it opens by entering a password. It must be old. Maybe ES knows something about it. Decided not to tell ES about the box. He might not appreciate that I took it with me. He's always nagging me about ethics. Busy week, classes and meetings. The faculty is really getting in the way of my research. Feeling a bit strange. I had weird dreams ever since I came back from Vedtorp. Odd dreams. Let's party, Theo. Call ASAP. Call. Prepare lecture. Swedish. Okay. Dreamt that I was in a vast wasteland. I was searching for the keys to my locker together with Jenny from high school. We laughed and dug in the sand. Suddenly the sky lit up and Jenny pointed to a simple constellation of stars. She whispered in my ear to never forget it. I asked her what it meant, but she was dead and her bones were withered and old. Woke up and have been feeling rather queasy ever since. Read an account of a year walk by a man called Ramadal in an old book I came over in a used bookshop. Ramadal's story is little more than a tall tale told by a drunken oaf. Most of them seem to be. Daniel sticks out. It haunts me. Held a lecture on year walking. Several faculty members attended it. They ridiculed me in front of the students. What? Why would they ridicule on a piece of Swedish folklore? Okay. Another strange dream. Was doing my homework. Was stressed because the oil lamp was running out of oil, and when it did, the pale horse outside the window would come inside. The lamp burned out and everything went black. Woke up soaked in sweat. Must remember to buy groceries. Fiddled with the box. I have no clue to how to open it. Frustrating. What jealous, small-minded, greedy creatures the faculty members are. And they will undoubtedly create small-minded, jealousy, and greedy students. Don't feel the need to share any of my research with the faculty anymore. They don't deserve to read something that my hand has written. They would not understand anyway. The thought of what is inside that box is like an itch that can't be scratched. I've searched for references to anything about it, but I have found nothing that resembles it at all. Having more strange dreams, something happened in those woods. Is yearwalking a mere vision quest? Are the visions brought on by lack of light and food? ES believes so. Not so sure. Dreamt of the runestone. Was in the forest outside Vedtorp. Mrs. Bowman was walking up to me. I was very afraid. She said that I had been a bad boy and broken the rules. Before I could defend myself and tell her that I did not mean to be naughty, she withered into dust. Found myself in front of the runestone. The Grimm's eyes glowed at me. Woke up. Find myself thinking of the stone. What does it mean and how is it connected to yearwalking? What did people do in those woods? Do not feel like sleeping tonight. Drinking coffee and watching TV. If I stay awake, those dreams will stay away. Could not understand much of my students' presentations today. Must sleep. Someone is watching me all the time. So whoever created the game is starting to be haunted by it. Or at the very least, this makes for a very entertaining story. Got an email reminder to deliver the text for the game. Wrote 7 or 8 pages. Hopefully it's enough. Waiting. Don't know for what. Have a feeling that something is on its way. Received an odd email today. Hi, Theodore. Just wanted to double check if it's come to attention you've been looking for Okay. Got over 1,000 of these during last night. The emails seem to have stopped when my inbox was full. Don't know what it could mean. Maybe it's a prank by my students, but they don't seem too unimaginative to come up with something like this. Don't think it will end here. It's the half circle. It's part of one of the boxes. Is it some kind of threat? Called the priest, told him of my plight. He said that Vedtorp sometimes had a strange effect on people, but it rarely lasted. Do not think he understands. I was going to ask him about the box, but decided to hang up when he suggested I should see someone. Woke up last night, heard baby screams from beneath the floorboards. Panicked. Managed to pry up some of the floorboards. The screaming stopped. This is getting really dark. The Watchers, the Night Raven, the Huldra, the Brook Horse, and the Church Grim. There might be others. Cannot be sure. Can they disguise themselves? Maybe they can read my mind. The Watchers. Because they watch. That's what they do. But is it all they do? Yearwalk equals system error. Yearwalking works, but it was never meant to. It's against the rules. The universe blinked its eye and someone crossed all barriers that are known as time and space. The Watchers are watching, but who are watching the Watchers? How can you bend time and space? Was something. I can't even read that. Connected. Earthquakes. When. Nature. Human. Time. Possibly Lucia. Huh. Got in a heated argument with ES. He is surprisingly scornful of my theories. We must remember that he is an old man, and he might not be as open to new ideas any longer. He claims that it is impossible to gaze into the future. The future is not set. Nothing happens until it happens. Of course, it's impossible to look into the future according to logic, but I'm not sure they are playing according to our rules. The Watchers are more than they appear, and less. They are real, yet they are unreal. They do not exist in the manner that this table and this chair exist. How do I know these things? Are they my thoughts? Am I writing this? I certainly did not draw this, and yet it's right there in my notebook. Watchers or antibodies? Daniel broke the rules, and he was punished. Held another lecture. The last one for a long while, it seems. It's been decided that I need a break, but it matters not. Have more important things to do. I've been an idiot. Someone is playing with me. These shapes. It's the same as on the box. Did someone see me take it? Tried the symbols I have received, but the box remained shut. There must be more coming. Woke up last night. The telephone rang. Answered. Could not hear anyone. Hung up. It rang again. Answered. Could hear someone speak on the other side. Could not make out what was being said. The voice was too far away. Hung up. It kept ringing. Cut the cord. Bought whiskey. Bought food. People stare. Don't want to go out there again. Too many knew who I am. If you break the rules, there will be consequences. Wish I had not cut the cord to my phone. Need to hear a human voice. Don't dare to go out. At first, I didn't even notice. One of the paintings in my living room has been replaced. Must have happened during the 30 minutes I slept. Cannot let my guard down. Was someone here? Or something? Will the antibodies come for me? Am I a virus in the eye of the universe? Boarded up the balcony and all the windows. Nothing can come in now, I hope. Shouldn't be possible, but someone is here again. I'm definitely being threatened. There was a knife on my kitchen table. Old, but sharp. I realize that the knife is his. We are connected. The church is central to this, and yet it is not. Perhaps the church itself is not important, but rather the energy of the place. Perhaps the gate is always there, but it's not a gate. Gates are meant to be opened, or closed. This is the rift in the fabric of the very existence of everything. But why allow it? Why does the universe or God or someone not shut the gate? If we're not meant to do it, why let us? I can hear the heart of the universe beating. What is happening? I feel like a worm under a big boot. I feel the shadow hanging over me, waiting to get crushed. She sings, and I shall follow. She is trying to fool me. That I know, but I must get closer to her, because then I get closer to the key that leads to the heart of it all. He's talking about the Huldra. I didn't steal the box because it begged me to take it with me. Daniel survived all the Watchers sent by the universe. He was lured by the Temptress, brought the innocents to the Pale Horse, unearthed the parasite, and finally faced the master of them all. But yet he was destroyed. Could it have gone any other way? Was he doomed from the start? Am I doomed? Is the future set, or can it be altered? Man-made angels. Fairy. Huldra. Watchers running errands, or a test of might? Yearwalk approved leads to death. Failing leads to death. Approved leads to death. It's death no matter what. Must help him. It's the right thing to do. There is a bond between us. Might have figured it out. 5 Watchers, 5 symbols. Which means there's one more coming. So tired. So tired. Can't seem to hold my thoughts for any period of time. Should probably eat more often, but I must resist. It's important that I come prepared. The heart beats stronger, but I will break it and see beyond everything. So he's becoming obsessed with actually completing the Yearwalk. In the end, it was the nature of man that got Daniel. Must free myself of all desires. That's how they get you. Can love really be a weakness, or is it a strength? And the poor girl. It just seems unfair. Is there anything I can do? If the future can be altered, why not the past? Am I playing the part of a fool in the cosmic play? And if so, to what purpose? Disconnected the microwave oven just in case. Feeling absolute terror at the possibility that there is no purpose, no rhyme, no reason to any of it. Why me? The only way I can help him is if I break the rules. It will come at a price, but what do I care if I can rise above it all? 2 rules universal: time and space. Yearwalking. If broken, above it all, and doom. And how? Saw her lifeless body. She is beautiful, even in death. Had been crying ever since. It all seems so needless, so cruel. Ready for anything. Don't care anymore. That's how you end up killing people. It's finally here, the last one. Woke up with this in my palm. Tried to wash it out. It's a tattoo. Tested them in all different kinds of combinations, but I could not figure out how to do it. I must sleep. I will open that box tomorrow. Of course, so simple. Rotate the wheel and release when the symbol aligns with the grim. in the order they were delivered to me. But why is it empty? I thought it was Daniel all along. I thought he was here, but it cannot have been he who sent me the password. It doesn't make sense. If the box was empty, it means it must be filled? I still do not understand who sent the symbols. If it was not the boy, then it must have been the Watchers. But why? Are they toying with us? Helping us in some perverse, twisted way? From the get-go, he was doomed. They got him at the very thought of Yearwalking. But I think the girl can be saved. I put everything he needs in the box and I locked it. I will leave it where I found it, where all of this started. If my mind is set on this, does it mean that I am doomed too? The rift is open. It wants me to go through. Weak, none, 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 none. Shave, none, 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 none. Question mark. Good, good, weak. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Best. So, from the 24th to the 31st, with the exception of the 26th, appear to be the best days to time walk, with the 31st being the best. Packed my things. I wonder if it will come back. If I will come back. Soul sortin'. It's cold here. Wish I could light a fire, but I must do it right. Surprised how calm I feel. Only hours remain. It's midnight. Well, I mean, if anything, that was a really entertaining story. So, to open the box, we have to do it in the order that they come, which is Huldra, Brookhorse, Mylan, Raven, down, down. And then this was supposed to be it. Okay. Up. Down. In the order they came to him. Let's take a look at the journal again. Triangle. Unless that's square. Square. Triangle. Down triangle. There's nothing horse-shaped. Okay, so let's say triangle, right circle, down triangle, right circle. Down triangle, right circle, square. Circle, square. Circle, square. Down triangle, right circle, square, triforce. It's his hand. Down circle. Down triangle, right circle, square, triforce. I forgot what the last symbol was. Was it this? Was it this one? No. Down circle. Right circle. Upside down triangle. Square. Triforce. Down circle. That wasn't it? I know we're so close. Okay, let's try it again. Down triangle. Next should be right circle. Right half circle. Yep, right half circle. Square. Triforce. And then the last one was the palm. Tested them all in different combinations, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I must sleep. Rotate the wheel and release when the C symbol aligns with the grim. In the order they were delivered to me. Okay. Which one's the grim? The circle? Okay. Okay, so, I can't remember it all. Upside down triangle. Right circle. Square. Triforce. Down circle. Release at grim. Clockwise. Let's try this again. It's down triangle. Right circle. Square. Triforce. Down circle. Grim. What was it, like the 15th, 16th, 17th? Rotate the wheel and release the symbol, and when the symbol aligns with the Grim in the order they were delivered to me. Down triangle, right circle, square, Triforce, down circle. I opened it. So it has all the secrets that we need in order to solve the game. Daniel Svensson was executed at Kronstadt Prison. He was found guilty of the heinous death of young Stina Nilsson last year. The death sentence has been criticized. The highly renowned Dr. Helmer stated that Daniel is suffering from an abnormal psyche. He seems to have problems discerning past from the present, has visions of terrible creatures, something not uncommon among schizophrenics. Daniel cannot be held accountable for his actions and should be given treatment at an institution for the criminally insane. The execution was performed by Gustav Dahlberg. This was his first execution. Last year he was to perform the execution of the notorious Lisa Rasmussen, who was charged with the murder of 4 infants in Vedtorp, but who took her own life before the sentence could be carried out. Security has been improved greatly since. Daniel Svensson was composed during the whole process. Besides the slightly shaking hand so commonly among criminal type, you could not tell Daniel from any other young man. He sobbed loudly once when he laid his head down low, but quickly regained his composure. A quick prayer and a swift, powerful stroke, and it was over. According to the attending priest, Granath, Daniel's last words were, "I should have killed myself, then none of this would have happened. You and I are long dead when I write this, and I have not yet been born, yet we have a connection beyond life, death, space, and time. The impossible made possible by yearwalking. But the Watchers always win, even though you've not passed through the rift yet. They sense the urge, and they want their sacrifice. I wish there could be another way. I am sorry, but for her there is still hope. You can save her. You know what you must do. Kill yourself." Daniel Svensson. Well, we got the true story then. The true ending. That, wow, okay. That whole extra bit with the journal and figuring out the box, all of that made this so much better. So I up my score from a 7 to a 9 because that's pretty interesting. That was a really cool story at the end there. Still a little short for my preference, but you know, that was enjoyable. That story about how he slowly went crazy and obsessed with yearwalking and being connected to Daniel was crazy. And I liked it. It was good. The end. The true end. No, I don't want to walk again. Okay, well that was an interesting game. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys another time. I'm gonna go to bed, I'm tired. Good night.